All right.
What's up?
What's up? How's it going?
It's going. It's Friday afternoon.
It's Friday afternoon. Took me 10 minutes to get my monitor to work this morning. So
So you know it's going to be a good day.
you know it's going to be a good day.
What do you want to talk about today?
All right. I want to talk about the messy, just game and like bullshit, but also beauty of LinkedIn, the platform that we all know and love to hate.
The nature of this work.
The nature of this work. LinkedIn is not a place where you're going to wake up and be like, fuck yes, I'm going to go on LinkedIn today.
Yes. I love the insights.
Like, that's not what this work is about. We are not trying to fall in love with a tool that we are using for our business. We are trying to use the tool for our advantage in our business.
Swing the hammer.
And I just feel like this is coming, these emotions that you're feeling in my voice are coming from some of the questions that Renee was getting on the storytelling workshop, general conversation / complaining on LinkedIn that I see every day, feelings of my own that I've had over the years. And it's just
Client
like,
work.
what? Client work? Yeah, like client work. Like there was a whole thing. We had to like talk someone off a ledge yesterday that we're working with one-on-one. And it's like, listen, the whole point of sitting down and creating content and putting it out there on this platform is to start conversations. Like, end of story. We are not creators trying to build audiences. Things like follower count, impressions, like that shit. It's a signal, but it's not the goal. Like, the goal is start conversations. Like, I don't care if your post had 2 likes, 5 likes, 7 likes, 300 impressions. Are you starting conversations? And if not, the other way to think about it is, who is potentially seeing this that's gonna look at it and never ever do anything? That they're never gonna comment. They're never gonna DM. But 6 months down the line, 9 months down the line, they're gonna be like, I've been reading your content and I'm obsessed with it and I'm ready to hire you. Like, that happens all the time.
That's actually the rule. That's not the exception.
Right.
The vast majority of people who will buy from you will have never liked or commented on your work,
Mhm.
but they will have read every post and then they're going to come inbound
Yeah.
in that way. Like if anyone who's coming inbound, that's usually it. It's not the person who's constantly liking and commenting on all of your stuff every single day because they probably have a motivation of their own.
Right. So we are obviously ego-driven, absolutely imperfect humans. And it hurts. And
The
it feels
collective way. I mean, you and I, yes, but
yeah, the
the
collective
collective way.
and obviously you and I. But like, it does hurt when your posts don't quote unquote perform well. I get it, but like, I'm thinking back to when I first started, and my posts did way worse than they did now. But I used to get tons of DMs back then after months of doing this, where it was just like, "Hey, I'm really like, keep going. I'm loving your stuff." And I'm like, "Who are you? Like, what is?" I remember being like, "Who? I've never like, what are you? Who is this?" Like, people are seeing your stuff even if you don't think that they're seeing it, and you don't have immediate wins on LinkedIn. It is very rare. Like, this is a game that you have to play. This is a consistency game. You've got to show up. Like, you've got to show up multiple times a week. Put your stuff out there. Embrace the mess. Embrace it. Like, talk to me. Tell me about what Jay Akunzo was saying to you about the mess or something that, like, I really liked how he phrased it and how you phrased it to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's been beating this drum for a long time, and uh, basically, and he's done several episodes of his old show Unthinkable on this concept, which is like, it is a mess. The process is a mess. The thing that you see in your head as you try to create something, and then you go and create something, and you're like, why doesn't it look like the thing the thing I saw in my head? Why doesn't it sound like that? Why doesn't it feel like that? Like, it's much harder, or it's much more frustrating, or The final result isn't the thing. And it's because the process is a mess.
Mhm.
There's no perfect way. There's no two ways about it. It's just that's the process to make a mess. And I appreciate Jay's ambition and his mission of like normalize the mess.
Yeah.
So we said this on Renee's mini course yesterday, and I thought it was I want to reiterate it, which is a lot of people talk about authenticity, being like authentic online in general, LinkedIn, wherever the hell you are, doesn't matter. And, and Elise LeMay, to bring her back into this, she said this to me a few weeks ago, and it lives rent free now. She said, "If I was being my authentic self, I'd be sipping a margarita on a beach somewhere.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be on LinkedIn."
Yeah.
So, like, let's just cut the bullshit, right? Like, let's just pretend not. Does no one pretend we're going to be our authentic? We're being our most authentic selves by posting on LinkedIn because that's not the thing, right? The thing is, the whole point of it is try to figure it out, play the fucking game, and go make some money. Like the this is an infinite game concept, which is like hard. It's like there's no finish line. There's no winning either. There's only losing or you get to keep playing. It's like it's either drop out or don't.
Yeah.
Then the whole point is play the game. And LinkedIn has a set of rules that are always changing, but it's their game, so it's their rules and they make them up.
Yep. The way that I like to think about the authenticity thing is like it's no different than if you are showing up at a party. You know some people, you don't know some people. This is not a party of your best friends since you were 5. This is a party of people that you might have known for like a few years and then they brought friends and they brought friends and you're like kind of networking and meeting new people. You're not going to show up to the party and be like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Like my toddler took a shit in my shoe this morning and I'm not happy about it." Like, like you're not going to do that right away. You're going to like maybe at like a couple hours in, couple drinks in, maybe that'll come up. But like, you know, you're gonna show the side of yourself that is more buttoned up than what you're gonna show with your partner at home or your best friend at home. Like, that's fine. That's not being inauthentic. That's being a human socializing at a party. And it's the exact same thing on LinkedIn. Like, there is no
You'll get more
difference.
comfortable. Like the
Like,
longer,
exactly. You get more comfortable with time. Like, I wasn't
when you bring your kid to the park and he's glued to your leg for the first 30 minutes and then he warms up. Might bring my son to his cousin's house to play. They're the same age. They know each other. They ask about each other like all the time.
that's
He's
cute.
like, "Can we go play with James?" And so we bring him to James's house. And then he just sits next to me and he won't go play with James. And
Mm,
then 30 minutes, they both warm up a little bit. They start playing with, they're doing their thing, right? This is a 3-year-old. This is the same thing about figuring out what the hell you're going to, what thoughts you're going to put into the world. And your threshold, like the amount of time it takes you to get comfortable, is going to go down over time.
exactly. Basically, what you're saying is we're all acting like a bunch of fucking toddlers when it comes to LinkedIn. We need to chill the
I mean,
fuck
this just
out.
building your business. I don't give a fuck about LinkedIn. Honestly, someone posted something the other day that blew my mind. Well, not so much, but it put it into focus for me in a way that I think I always knew,
Mhm.
but I never really thought much about because I'm busy doing other shit, not thinking about LinkedIn. Basically, it was like, hey, across the board, everyone says reach is down, and I think I and LinkedIn just released a feature that was like boost your post.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Not like a company thing. It's like your own profile boost your post. So they realized that they were giving away too much reach. So what do? They throttle reach and then they make people pay for it. Right. So LinkedIn land grab is kind of coming to a halt here. I don't think LinkedIn's gonna like collapse anytime soon, but like, hey, like get the fuck on Substack. Like start doing something else. Like it's LinkedIn's not the only place to play. But the
Mhm.
whole point is like you gotta play. And when you think of it that way, where it's like just play the game, what are the rules or like how do we interpret the rules? Like what do you gotta do? And it's not so much like a dog and pony show. I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want, but like you have to play.
Let's get
And
tactical. Let's get fucking
okay,
tac let's just do it. Let's just do it.
okay, yeah, yeah,
You
okay.
have to warm up the algorithm for like first things first. I don't care if you don't want to warm up the algorithm. You have to warm up the
I
algorithm.
don't do that.
Well,
I didn't. I've
if
known
you
of
warmed
this
up the
idea.
algorithm, I guarantee you we should do an experiment. For the next week, you should warm up the algorithm and see if anything changes.
All right, define warming up the algorithm.
Here's exactly what I do. I spend 15 minutes responding to comments on my own posts and commenting on other people's posts before I post. and then I stick around.
That's why every, like, so often I get a response from you on a comment from, like, several days ago, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
"Oh,
strategy, dude. This is my strategy. I have the luxury of knowing that if I post, something that's not stupid, well, sometimes I get more comments on something that's stupid, so that's not true, but if I post something, generally, most of the time, I know I'll get a bunch of comments. I have the luxury of that after 3 years of building. So I intentionally stick around after I post for 30 to 45 minutes. So yeah, if you're doing the math, I am on LinkedIn for 1 hour straight. Is that a waste of time? No, I get so much money from LinkedIn, like, end of my story. So I'm on LinkedIn for an hour. I warm it up. I respond to the comments that come in, and then I fuck off, right? And I leave the rest of the comments that come in, unless it's something that I really want to respond to that day or someone's trying to pick a fight with me. Like, I'll generally leave it and I'll come back to it the next time that I'm on LinkedIn, which could be the next day or 2 days or 3 days later. And I go back to my comments and I sort them by most recent and I scroll down to the last place I responded and I just go up the page and I respond to every single person.
this is brilliant." So, okay, I've been doing this wrong because I will try to respond to as many all the comments all the time because
No, you gotta
I
give
f
yourself something to do.
well, I feel like, or I felt like until you said this, if the post had, like, a regular engagement cadence that it would get the thing,
No, the
the
first hour
whatever,
matters more than anything else, and then it doesn't then it just does what it does.
then it just does what it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will stop doing that. I'll respond to all my comments within the first hour, and then I will let it
Let it go.
sit. And then, because I'm like, I'm scrolling the feed. This is the other thing. I was like, warm up the album, like intuitively, and people say this, but then you scroll and you're like, these posts suck. Like, I want nothing to do with any of these fucking posts.
Mhm.
Like I'm just gonna be shit posting. Like my friend Tass Bober, you know
Mhm.
Tass, she loves posting shit posting.
Yeah.
She's so good at it, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, I don't even have the energy to shit post, but she will. You, dude, her comments are hilarious.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like number one LinkedIn commenter champion of the world,
Yeah.
and so
She's
I'm like,
hilarious.
she's absolutely hysterical. And so like sometimes I find a good one, a good post, and I can insert some sort of like sense of humor into it. But for the, I don't want to, I hate going in and being like, well, actually, and then trying to like expert all over the place. Like it's just so, oh, it's so stupid.
Do what I do what Taz does for
Yeah, I
most of the
know.
time. Like, I just mess around. My whole goal of being there is to make people laugh in the process of warming up the algorithm. I am not here to, like, spread wisdom throughout the world unless I see something that genuinely like, makes me feel something and I'm like, "I've gotta go in on this," you know? And then I'll do my little spicy thing that I do sometimes where I'm like, "Well, don't really agree with you because of this, and that." And I do that a lot too. I'm not scared to disagree with people in the comments, but
I agreed with that.
yeah. But I also, like, I'll just leave like, someone will say something and I'll be like, "So what you really mean is," and then I'll just say something stupid. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. The point is not what I'm saying in the comment. The point is I need to be here to tell LinkedIn I'm here so that it gives my post more love.
Because if you're here, so here's like the thinking behind it. LinkedIn says, okay, you are actively engaging. You're going to put out a post. You're going to be there to respond to comments. Is kind of
Yeah.
is the thought process here. So if
Yeah.
you're engaging with your own post, so the no post and ghost,
Never post
never
and ghost.
posting ghost. That's
No,
the worst thing you can do is
absolutely.
posting ghost. Okay, warm up the algorithm. Now what?
So stick around. So
Stick around.
that first hour matters a lot. I don't have the patience to sit there for a whole freaking hour. So I'll stick around for like 30 minutes, 45 max if people are saying interesting things to me. I'll also go back to the newsfeed if I'm not getting enough comments and I'll just like see what else is going on there. Or I'll go, put in the search someone's name that I generally like that I haven't seen in a while. Like I'll put your name in and be like, did Nick say anything? Or I'll put like Renee's name, whatever, and I'll just go see what's up with them. Maybe I missed a post they wrote 5 days ago. I'll leave a comment on that. Like anything
Mm.
to just like stay active and be there and tell LinkedIn I'm here. That's it. It's that simple. But
Hmm.
but a lot of people don't want to do it because it's quote unquote a waste of time. Like what's more a waste of time? Spending an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours creating content that gets nothing and then you get mad at the algorithm? Or, like, adding another 30 to 45 minutes into your process and having something actually kinda work?
This is called playing the game,
Yeah.
right? Like these are just some of the uh, just
It's
look,
a
when you play a
game.
Monopoly, you gotta roll the dice.
Yeah.
right? Like when you're playing LinkedIn, you got to go shit post on some. You got to go throw some shit post comments on people.
Yeah, and if you really, 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 really hate LinkedIn and never wanna do it, then you better be sending a newsletter. Get people on a list. Like
Okay, so this is actually an interesting thing, right? Here's the whole point. Like connecting the dots between like doing the thing and like just showing up and making people recognize your little circle headshot icon.
mhm,
Like that's a big part of it. Is like people just kind of recognize the the blob that
mhm,
is your icon.
mhm,
And then they come to know it. Like, actually, this is really stupid, but it's really funny.
mhm.
On your profile now, when you don't pay for premium, there's like a thing on the sidebar that says your viewers also viewed. So the people who
Yeah,
viewed your profile, and like right now, it's like Erica Schneider, my friend Jed Marley, and then it's like unlock the full list with premium, and then it's like blurred out.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like speaking of tasks, like she has that purple background, and so the thing was her blurred out, but it was like bright purple, and I was like, okay, LinkedIn. I
I
was
know
like,
that
what is
color.
this? I was like, I know who this is. What are you doing? Like, it was like, this isn't it. You're not hiding any information from me because everyone's headshots, like the branding behind the headshot is like they're so recognizable that even blurred out, I knew who it was. So anyway, here's
Yeah,
the point. Getting people to
hilarious.
recognize that thing is important. But why play the game in the first place? We are all in the relationship business, right? We are all in the relationship
Yeah,
business. Very few people are in the traffic business. Like, the people that you love on the internet that sell whatever shit, like YouTube, like those people are in the traffic business. But when you think about the percentage of people who are there versus here, it's 80-20, right? 80% of us are in the traffic business or in the relationship business.
mhm,
Okay, so what's the point? What does that actually mean? It means the reason you do all these things is to open an engagement loop.
mhm.
So engagement loops show up in one of two places. This shows up on other people's bullshit or it shows up on your bullshit. So you're
Tell me
doing
more,
this.
yeah.
So like you need to so the thing that you're doing by going to other people's posts and saying something is you're opening an engagement loop over there. You can build your own land and then people come and comment on your bullshit. And
Mhm,
you can start an actual conversation through that. So when you see the same people a few times, you can DM them, say, "Thanks so much for leaving a thoughtful comment or just making me laugh." Like I sent someone the thing the other day and I was like, "Dude, I appreciate your video content because you make videos outside." Like it's just like standard like marketing content stuff. Like it's it's nothing too novel in terms of insight, but I watch his videos because he's like doing stuff outside and I'm like pattern interrupt immediately. So like I just appreciate the content. He did some like Wistia Showdown thing recently, and I was like, this is just like interesting stuff. And I just appreciate the sense of humor. So I just shot him a note and said thanks. And I was into what he was building. And we got to talking. And I was like, hey, do you want to come on the show?
nice.
And now I know someone new who I'm
Yeah.
gonna interview in a couple of days. But
I
will
got
he
the
become a client? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't really care. But the more important thing is he knows what I do. I know what he does. He can refer people to me. I can refer people to him. Like building out that all that whole network is mission critical. The podcast has been the number one,
I know, I'm kinda
the
jealous of
primary
your
thing.
I kinda wanna do a podcast. You
We
keep
should,
talking about
all
how
right.
good we should probably
Let's
do a
make
po we
this
should
one.
probably
I've
do.
thought about how do we make this one public and just start bringing on guests
I mean,
every once in a while.
I think we're gonna have to do a public podcast together, whether it's this one or
I don't want to do 3 podcasts. I can't. That's too many podcasts. Maybe we do like every couple of weeks, we'll take one of these and we'll bring it and we'll make it public.
Yeah, something like
That'll be
that.
good. I think that'll be some
There's
good
gotta be
marketing.
some that stay private for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we'll take some that stay private, but the majority of them, the right 80% of them stay private, and then like one a month we send publicly, and we'll try to bring on a guest or something.
I like
Every
the
once in
I
a while, have
yeah.
someone jam with
I also
us.
like the idea of having, students who've created offers and are selling them, like,
Ooh,
coming on and, like, talking through the process of how they got there.
I didn't think of that. I think that yeah, doing a little Well, success, student
Yeah,
success.
that could be cool.
Yeah.
Look, I gotta read this to you because this is so stupid, but it's just like I got the weirdest inbound of my life the other day.
Oh, please read it to me.
All right, it's an in-mail, so we're not connected. It's titled "A Dad Joke for You." Hey,
You
Erica,
have my attention.
what did the pirate say when he turned 80? I matey, like I
Oh,
matey, and then
okay.
it goes. Hopefully that gets a smile or an eye roll. That buys me 5 more seconds with a winky emoji. I'm person from person. I don't want to call them out.
Yeah.
We get your message into the inboxes of your target audience in a unique, memorable way, just like this, to boost brand awareness, leads, and sales. If you've been waiting for a sign to get started with an outbound campaign, this is it. Interested? Like, I don't I mean, no, I'm not interested, but I did read it. So there was that. Anyway, I just had to share that with someone. That's really all. The whole point of that was that I had to share that with someone.
I I don't even open emails.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
straight to jail.
Yeah, rarely do I open in-mails, but that's not why? Because people are gonna hear that and be like, "Wait, so I shouldn't send in-mails?"
Yeah, the Task Bober phenomenon.
Okay.
Let's just go with that one because if I recognize your icon, I will most likely respond to your DM.
Mhm.
You don't need to in-mail me. People
Mhm.
in-mail because they don't wanna build relationships with people, right? So, Anne Hanley wrote about this a lot. She's like, "Your from name matters so much more than your subject line."
It does, that's why I took cut the fluff out of my subject line because I was like, "This is wasting real estate. Just gonna have my subject line because my name is more important than the name of
You're
my
yeah.
newsletter."
She's like, "People are gonna open your emails, they're gonna respond to your messages, they're gonna pick up your calls, they're gonna do whatever because of the name and AKA your reputation, not because of whatever the hell your subject line says." This is this is the reality of the situation. If they can blur out your headshot and I still know it's you, like, you're good. You're fucking golden. You can DM fucking anyone you want
Yeah.
and get a response, right? But you have to be known. You have to be somewhere. And this is like the whole premise of the whole program, right? Be known for an expertise, right? Like, so I know exactly what Tess does. I
Yep.
know exactly, like, it's easy to, even if she shit posts in places, I still know. I'm just gonna roll with this with her as an example through this whole show because it's simple and
She's the
it's easy.
best.
Is
She should be
so
highlighted. She just was on Devin Reed's, uh,
I
in-person
know.
thing that I was on
Oh,
last
I
year,
know.
and they did the read between the ferns or whatever.
Yeah.
Between the reads. Oh my god,
Read Between the Ferns, yeah,
that
it was
it was
funny.
so funny. It
I
was so
wondered if that cease and desist he got, I don't think it would be from them. It doesn't,
oh,
I
can
doubt
you
it.
imagine?
I doubt Zach Galifianakis cares
No,
that
he doesn't
anyone,
care.
I don't know what it was, but regardless, yeah, she was just there. I mean, she was on my show first, I'm just gonna say that. She was on my show first, so, like, it's that's what I wanna know. Uh, okay, so where are we at here? So building relationships, playing the game. I mean, this is the real work. Creating the offer is oftentimes the thing that people need to feel comfortable to go and do that work.
Yep.
Like, a lot of times, like, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? What am I going to ask them? Like, what if I do? Like, God forbid I get on a phone call with this fucking person. What are we going to talk about? I'm like, this is why getting the offer and all of the little bits and bolts to it, or your whole point of view, like, what do you think
Yeah.
is so important to be able to go and have conversations with people and show people what you believe and help orient them in this crazy world we live in. Um, and if you don't like, you can't bypass that part. But some people need varying levels of complete thinking in order to go and execute. There are
Yep.
people who need it to be so picture perfect that they would rather like die than try to move a half of a thought into the market, like an incomplete thought into the market.
Mhm.
And there are people who are like, "I need 1% of a thing, of a direction, and I will go close deals."
Yeah, that's where I
It
live.
is
Yeah.
crazy. It is crazy. I have worked with probably 50 solopreneurs at this point, and the spectrum is wide. Like, there are some people who are closing deals week 1 because they just need a glimmer of hope that, like,
Mhm.
"Okay, here's the thing. Let's just I have let's go have let's see if I can have a conversation with somebody while I try to build it out and, like, connect a few dots along the way." And then there are people who are like, "We're 9 months in," and it's like, "I don't know, it just, like, doesn't seem right to me." And I'm like, what? I can't quite discern if someone's gonna be that way ahead of time. It's still a
Mm.
little tough to tell if, like, this irrational bias towards action is really what I'm describing is, like, the trait that you have
The
in
people who
order
wait
to
a
get
long
there.
time,
Yeah.
do they then go out and have success, or are they more likely to fail?
I think they're more likely to not failure. I wouldn't call it a failure, but I think it's going to be a grind. It's, like, just more likely to take fucking forever
Alright, so
because
back
it's
to
like
tactical. Like, how in your expertise after doing this 50 or so times, how far through having your offer, quote, unquote, "done," let's say the offer done equals 100%. What percentage do you recommend people just get out of their own way and go do stuff?
I think if you have a solid understanding of what the problem is or what you think the problem is, like, quick caveat here, like, the problem is whatever the hell you say it is. And then you get to go out in the world and go, "Is this the problem? Is this how I see it? Is this how we articulate it? Is this how other people see it? Do they get it when I say it this way? Did they not get it? Like,
Mhm.
what if I do it like this?" Like, that's the whole process, right? That's what we talk about make a mess. Like, that's what it is. So if you have a solid understanding of the problem in the moment and your 4 phase journey, like, hey, if someone were to say, like, "Hey, like, if I wanted to hire you, what would you do? Like, how do you deal with this?" Like, if you could just get those 2 things, you could probably you're pretty charismatic of a person where you can just you care enough to be able to carry on a conversation and jam with people on the subject.
Mhm.
You can close a deal.
You know what else, though, I will add to that? Like, for me, this helps so much in retrospect. I have an irrational bias towards action anyway, so I was out there like, "Content sparring is completely done,
I
and
was
I'm
just gonna
ready." Like
say, like, I
they
wrote a
like
case study on you doing this because I was like,
dude, like, it wasn't I thought it was ready, so I was, like, overconfident, like, "This is the best thing that's ever been." Like, it was nothing. There was no process. It was, "Bring your content to a call, and we will talk through it."
"It was a great idea."
Like,
That's
and it
just you
was
had.
and was that helpful to clients? Absolutely. Like, could I have helped them more with with the program I am still kind of iterating on now? Like, hell yeah. But they still paid me. They were still happy. Like, I still got good
Yeah, but you're gonna
testimonials.
fix it.
And
You're
now
still fixing
I'm
it.
gonna
Who
updating
cares?
it. And like I'm gonna be updating this forever. I now
Yeah.
completely accept that I will be updating this forever. There is no done with your process because it changes as you change, as people change, as markets change. Like
Yeah.
that to me is the biggest takeaway. Like you're not gonna have the perfect offer baby that you can introduce to the world. You're gonna have an idea of an offer that you cannot. It's actually cool to think about it this way. You cannot finish it until you have people paying you for it
You can't.
because you have to take them through it. Paying customers, you have to feel the pressure of you have given me money. It's not just a free thing. Like you've given me money, so I have to get you results. Like you have to feel that pressure.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I defined this well, that pressure is the forcing function, like, the money's the forcing function to be like, "Okay, I need to make this more of a thing."
Yeah.
I need like, people are expecting a level of success or a particular outcome or some sort of result from this work.
Yeah.
And but when I did the write-up on this, as it was happening, I was like, "Why did you get the thing done, in the way that you did?" And, like, yes, having a bunch of followers and a big audience, like, and it helps, of course. But the thing I think that, one, enabled that to happen, but also allowed you to do all the other things was the fact that you just didn't give a shit.
Mhm.
You were like, "Here's the thing," and that was it. Like,
Yeah.
it is so absurdly simple. It does not
And
have
I
to be
but
much
and I
harder than that.
admitted that it was new. that there was a launch price and that I didn't even really know much of what I was doing or if it was gonna work. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, "Join on this journey with me, and we will basically create this offer together as you pay me a little bit." Like, I
Yeah.
welcomed people into my world in exchange for we get to work together and see how it goes. Like,
Yes. There's a lot to be said for pent up demand. I think a lot of people benefit from like, "Hey, here I'm doing a thing now."
yeah.
And then there's this kind of backed up
Well,
of the
I
years.
properly launched it. I built a service in public. I said, "I am building a service in public."
True. You definitely did that, where there's some other people who will just be like, "I no longer work for a company and I can do this thing," and I've also been posting for a long time, so, like, there's some desirability on that end for
Yeah,
people,
like, we
but yeah,
can't all
you
be
were like
Devin Reed, who has, like, 80,000 followers, and he was like, "Guess what? I quit my job," and he got 1,000 fucking comments.
in the 1,000 inbound.
That's not how life works.
Yeah. Come on, Devin.
Come on, Devin.
I don't know Devin at all. I wanna have him on the podcast, though.
Devin's
I
the
feel like he's a
nicest guy
cool
in the
dude.
world. He's
I feel
such
like
a
he
good
would be
dude.
I feel like he would be a great guest.
Okay, well,
Cause
do you want me to intro you?
yeah, I think yes, that would be
Like,
wonderful.
do the thing that you're
Yeah,
teaching people to do. Yeah,
can I have
like,
an
ask
intro to
for
Devin Reed?
intros.
I
Yes,
feel
I
like
will.
Devin and I have a really similar show premise, even though his is less direct.
Yeah.
Like, I just say I have these conversations, whereas he has a similar conversation with his guests.
Yeah, he does.
And so I am but I'm gonna talk to him, like, no one has asked him the questions that he's asking everybody else, so I think that's it. I think that's kind of the angle I'm gonna take.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Alright, this has gone off the rails, so let's get back on track here. We're playing the
Do you believe in cold outreach at all? I wanna end on that note.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, what do you define it? I mean, what I'm
You're
suggesting is
saying, like, get people to know
oh,
your
you're
little
saying, like,
face
warm it
bubble.
up, so I'm saying warm outreach
'Cause
versus,
there's
like, a
people
cold
out there
outreach.
who are, like, very strong advocates of cold outreach also.
Oh, yeah. I don't do it, but
I don't do it. I've
it
never done it.
100% works, like, I don't do it, and, I don't generally teach it, but, like, hey, sometimes if you gotta put food on the family, like, do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I don't care how you do it. There's a lot of money to be made in cold outreach, but I think cold outreach has a bad rap because most people just suck at it. They'll just be like, "Hey, do you want this thing?" And they're like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
Versus still doing a similar thing, like even if you've never commented on this person's post before, but you were to reach out to them and say, "Hey, I've been reading all your stuff. This thing that you said made a difference in my life. By the way, I noticed that your website says X, Y, or Z. I have a few ideas, a few thoughts as to how you might be able to improve that or fix that. Mind if I send over a quick loom to show you?"
Yeah, I love that.
9 out of 10 people are going to be like, "Sure." If you're like a real person, people email me all the time, like, "Can I send a loom over?" And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here with your I know what you're doing." And
Yeah.
you can just sense when it's a genuine ask and or total fucking bullshit.
You know what's working on me at the moment?
Dad
Um,
jokes.
not dad jokes. I feel and I love when people say it like this because it's just so true. Like, when you stroke someone's ego, they are more likely to respond. Like, it
Oh,
sounds douchey, but, like, it is true. Like, stroke my ego, and I'm, like, way more likely to respond to you. So, I absolutely adore when and people have done this a few times recently, you message me and say, "Hey, Erica, I just accidentally spent 2 hours, like, reading all your posts from the past year. Like, I devoured them. Like, it was so helpful. Thank you." And I'm like, "Hell yeah." Like,
and then she's like, "Do you need VA services?"
well, yeah, unfortunately, that's generally what happens, but, like, I appreciate that, and my advice would be if you don't wanna spend, like, a million years commenting, like, fine, go devour someone's content, and then tell them that you loved it. Don't say anything else. Wait a few days and be like, "Hey," like, then say something about their most recent post and, like, find a way to tie whatever they're into your services. Like, that is another way to do it.
I'm gonna read to you an exact conversation I had with someone I booked with that person I booked the podcast for that talked about earlier because it's exactly what you're talking about, and I was intentional with the way that shifted I wrote the sentence, and
I
I
love
wrote
it.
it one way, and then I flipped it.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I reached out, I said, His name's Connor Lewis. You're gonna see him on the show. You can find him on LinkedIn. He makes a whole bunch of hilarious videos.
Cool.
I just said, yeah, this is one message. In my request, you can connect with someone and you can add a note. So I said, yo, dude, been loving the content lately, especially the Wistia showdown. LOL. That was it.
Okay.
Instant response. Yo, dude, appreciate it. Thanks so much for the kind words. I said, yeah, man, I appreciate the style too. Just being outside is a pattern interrupt, sadly. If you want to share your story about how you're building, what you're building, I'd love to have you on the pod one day. Now, I did not say, I host a podcast about solopreneurship and blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, 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 blah. I think you would be a great fit. I made it about him.
Yep.
If you ever want to share your story about how you're building, what you're building, would love to have you on the pod. And I didn't realize I was doing this until he responded the way that he did, but it it is a status play apparently. So he goes, "Yeah," he said, "Haha, yeah, I love the outside shots as a semi easy way to stand out. I'd love to hop on and chat. Can you tell me more about what the pod is about? Forgive my ignorance."
Nice.
And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Like my assumption that, like, I didn't even necessarily write it in a way that I was like, "Oh, I assume you've heard about my podcast." Like, I did not mean to write it that way. I just meant it to be like, I just wanna lob it out there. Like, I'm really like, "Here's my show. It's called 1,000 Routes, and here's the link,
So
and here's the."
people say, "Do you wanna hop on the pod?" without explaining, like, as a show of status, like, it's big enough for you to just know?
I just said it because I didn't wanna be
What?
like, "Here's
I
a
know you
link for
didn't do it
content."
on purpose, but are you saying people do that on purpose?
Apparently, I don't know. I'm just saying that, like, if 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 it was a normal cold pitch,
Yeah.
here's the point, right? If it was a normal cold pitch, it would have been, "I would love to have you on my show.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's called 1,000 Routes. Here's the link. Here's our show rundown. Here's all our bullshit, our blah, 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 blah." Like, it would have been like, "Here's a brand kit for you to see. Here's a couple testimonials.
But I
Here's
really like
exactly."
the way you did it because it forces him to
That's
respond. It's
the point.
human. Yeah.
That's the exact point. Like, it was just to be, I just like, I'm talking to him like I bumped into him at a fucking Starbucks and I was like, "Yo, dude, like, I love your stuff. If you want to come on the pod one day, I would love to jam with you." And he's just like, "Oh, I don't know anything about your podcast." It's
Yeah.
like, "Well, cool. Yeah, that's the point. I want to have a conversation with you." So anyway, so I sent him the show. I said, "It's all good. It's a show about soulpreneurship. You can check it out at 1000routes.com." He said, "Oh my God, you interviewed Erin Balsa. She used to be my manager. Like, I'm a soulpreneur. I'd love to hop on if I'm a good fit." And I was like, "Dude, she's awesome. Love Erin. Book it." And he fucking booked it immediately. So
Amazing.
this is like how this is a little zoomed in microscopic version of this.
Yep.
Now, like, I recognize that not everyone has a podcast that they can try and invite people on. I would suggest, like, hey, it's a lead magnet, right? Start a podcast with a relatable premise so people want to come on the fucking show, right? That's thing one. But even if you don't, like that's a simple way to to get more real conversations going. And then you have to, like, deliver, right? I don't throw on the human suit and pretend like and like host a old button up
Mhm.
fucking ass bullshit podcast, which is which is it's what I don't think it's a fake ass bullshit podcast. And
No, I love your pod.
and it's not the carbon copy version of the same show over and over and over again either, which is like what most B2B podcasts are. So anyway, like, this is a simple way to get people who also have influence over the type of people that I want to work with, like the
Mhm.
types of relationships I want to build. Like we've talked about this before. Like, these things, they are not, like, while they are selfish endeavors, like, like, this is the point of doing this work, is to build out your network and to know more people. I feel like I digress to this place at the end of every episode that we do.
I love it. I
I'm
love
like,
it. The
podcast.
most
Everyone's gotta be
passionate Nick always
podcasting.
comes out when you're talking about podcasting.
I mean, it
Plot
is a
twist, Nick is
grind.
now running a podcasting agency.
Yeah, I run a solopreneur podcast agency apparently. No, I mean, it's a fucking grind too. It's not like the easy it is definitely not the easiest thing to keep going. Like,
Yeah.
after like the first 20 episodes or something, I was like, I committed to 1,000 of these. It's like, how the fuck am I
I think
gonna
about
do
that for
that?
you sometimes.
I'm like, how am I
I'm
gonna
like,
do
Nick's
that? Like,
going
I
to
just released.
I sometimes I'm like, what happens when Nick reaches 1,000? Does the show become 2,000 roots?
No, I just need to end the
Does it just
show.
end? Nick just
I
disappears from the internet after 1,000.
yeah. I just need to end the show. I would. I mean, look, there's 52 weeks in a year, so let's just do the old back of the napkin here. It's gonna take me 20 fucking years to do this.
Alright, so when
So,
Nick has a gray beard, he will leave the internet.
uh, I hope I'm not.
In
I mean,
20
I
years, you don't think you're gonna have gray hair?
no. Oh no, I will be gray in like 2 years. Um, I just. I mean, I guess that'll be like a nice lifelong project, like to hit 1,000.
That would be really cool if you actually
That
stuck with it.
I really gotta but 20 years, like, I gotta pick up the pace here, like, I feel like I would be doing, like I gotta be going like Joe Rogan fast, like 5 a week.
Yeah, yeah.
So, maybe because that guy's on, like, over 2,000 episodes, and he hasn't
Jesus.
been going for 20 years or 40
So how often
years.
does he do them?
I feel like he posts a new episode, like, every day or, like, every other day.
Well, I mean, if it's the way you make the most of your money, like, you spend time where you make money.
This is true.
So, I would do a podcast 10 times a day if it was making
Yeah.
me millions of dollars.
Yeah, if I could do 1 a day, I mean yeah. I feel like once I get into like the couple hundreds, it's gonna be a grind trying to find people. I mean, I guess
Not
not, but like,
really, everyone's becoming a solopreneur.
yeah.
The world is your oyster at the moment. Anyway, we have
Okay.
digressed so
Yeah,
far.
we have yeah, all right, where do we let's land this plane. Where do you want to how do you want to wrap this up today?
I just want people to understand that this process does not have an end date. Like, the whole point of creating content is to air your ideas and evolve them in public. People like to watch your journey. Like, that's the human side of being authentic. Like, people like to watch your journey. It does not have to be polished up content all day every day. Like, it can be the journey. I'm sending my newsletter on Sunday about market the process. Like, if you don't know how to do this, you're going to want to read that one. If you're not on my newsletter, I'll put it in the community. Like, market the
Mm.
process is such an important part of it. Like, you have to market the problem, but also when you market the process, it gives people a chance to follow your journey. And it allows you to feel like you can be a bit messier. And like, you just embrace the mess and play the game.
I love this. I want to break down market the process because we haven't really talked about like the nuanced details of
Hmm.
that in particular,
Okay.
and it kind of just snapped into place for me as you were saying. It's like market the process has two two like little spokes.
We need to make a lot of visuals for this shit.
Yeah, no. There's two spokes that come out of market the process. There's
Hmm.
their process and your process.
Yes.
Like their process, let's talk 4-phase journey, like whatever the thing is. Like what are they going to experience? Your process, like how do you do the thing?
Hmm.
Right? This is where you can talk about any of the shit that you want. I mean, someone responded to one of our emails the other day and they were like, "Where does like parenting, like posts about parenting fit into this?" It's like that's your
It's
process,
your process. Yeah.
right? Um, so that's the difference. I think that's really where it is. And honestly, the more that I think about it, it's like when you talk about market the problem, there's their problem and your problem, and you should never market your problem unless it's the same problem
Right.
is their problem. This is where most people fuck up. This is where most the wheels fall off for most people. And this happens most commonly with freelance writers. They talk about problems with freelance writing and they get a bunch of other freelance writers who have that problem and they wonder why can I not attract more better business?
Hmm.
Because you're talking about your problems and who has your problems? People like you.
Yep.
And you don't sell to people like you.
Yep.
You sell to people who have a different problem. There's nothing wrong with this. You just have to identify the fork in the road here,
Yes.
and proof is just proof. So I think their problem, your problem, their process, your process, like their proof, your proof. No, that one doesn't work. This is how you aerate a framework.
Yeah,
This is how this is the mess.
talk about it.
We're in the
I've
mess.
I've written a draft of the newsletter that's going out on Sunday. So I have, besides their process and your process, I've come up with 3 types of process content.
Okay, hit me with it. Let's just, like, spill the beans.
Behind the scenes, so, like, all the shit that's going on behind the scenes as you are working with clients, building your offer,
Your
like,
process.
all that shit, your
Yeah, yeah.
process. Frameworks and systems that you are developing or have developed that are unique to you. Talk about how you came up with them, like, why they matter, all that shit. And journey documentation, like your life, like what has been going on in your life, what's been going on with your clients, like what insights have you learned? Like this is all like the story stuff, How's that feel?
Feels pretty good.
Something missing from that, you think?
I don't know. Nothing glaringly obvious, but I think about, like, the posts that I share about, like, from the show, right? Like,
Hmm.
those clips, where do you feel like that would fall in? Like, originally, the concept was, create a series that people can attach themselves to, so
Hmm.
that the idea is, like, they feel like they're just part of the bigger thing. They're part of the, and if they listen or they don't, like, it's just it's a gateway to the content, to more, relationship driven,
I feel like I'd put
content.
that in journey documentation, like your it's your journey talking to people about their journeys.
Okay. I guess the journey thing, I mean, without splitting hairs because of how meta my show is to this
Your
thing.
yes, your show is very meta.
Like, without being super meta about it, it's just like you can attach a series to literally anything, and
To
the whole
me, a
point is.
series is an evolution in thinking, like,
Yeah,
and a show is an evolution in thinking.
I like it. I like it. I think this framework has gotten a lot more attention and interest than I ever thought it would.
It's blowing my mind. Like,
It is blowing my mind.
I've gotten so many responses to my email from last week being like, "This is the most interesting way I've ever thought about content," and it's like, "Whoa, okay."
And I'm like, it blows my mind that I was involved in thinking about something about content, because I feel like I'm the worst
But
content marketer.
I like how it started because this is how you think about landing pages. Like,
Mm.
it came from your wireframe, and then we just, like, blew it up to encompass all content everywhere.
I've just been screaming market the problem for like 18 months. So, like, you're like, okay, fine.
I was like, "Fine, enough already, fine."
I'll include it. Jesus.
It just clicked for me, like, it just clicks for me.
It clicks for a lot of people. People are like, oh, this significantly simplifies the whole, all the stuff about it. It's just like, it answers the question, what am I going to write about? Am I going to talk about the problem? Am I going to talk about the process? Am I going to talk about proof?
Yeah.
And when, even just by me saying that out loud, I have not marketed any proof for a while now.
Mhm.
And I'm like, immediately I was like, that's the first thing I'm going to do next week.
Yeah.
I'm going to market some proof, because the proof and the, like, it's so interesting the way these three things play together, because okay, this is like another new idea that connects all of these ideas,
Okay.
but let's just roll with it. Okay, so there's like motivation to subscribe. That's a Jay Akunzo kind of IP, where it's just like, all right, well, how do you get people to, like, want to follow?
Mhm.
We could talk about the death of the follower and how it doesn't really matter anymore because interest based, social, whatever, who cares? But, like, here's the idea: it's like, how do you get people to, like, want to attach themselves to this thing?
Mhm.
Um, and then how do you get people to take action? How do you get people to care? Like, how do you? And it's like, all marketing the problem, it gets people to go, oh, this must be for me. And then marketing the process makes them feel more comfortable and confident in your competence.
Exactly.
And then marketing the proof also does that, but it is like, I am there, you're de-risking it. I am not the first person to act on this.
Yep.
There are people who have done this before me, and that makes it easier to want to commit to.
Mhm.
And they all kind of pull on all the emotional things. These are not the logical brain stuff.
Mhm.
I think I am very much I'm always most generally trying to appeal to the logical brain because that's just the way that I operate. But I think this thing inadvertently does pull all the emotional triggers that cause someone to want to make a decision.
I mean, it's both. Like, ultimately, people make like, buying decisions with emotions, so it needs to be doing that more than just logic, but when you market the problem, you're also making logical arguments about why the status quo is stupid.
Mhm. Yeah, there's like a I don't know if there needs to be a clean break. I don't think there probably should be like between logical and emotional. Like it's not a formula in that way. It's just like the better you understand the problem, the more emotional
Yeah,
like more emotional brain or like reptile brain you're going to tap into.
100%.
Interesting. Yeah, the way this stuff taps into decision making, I think there's a lot more there than we have previously given it credit for.
Mhm.
Versus just like, hey, here's the simplest way to think about making content that makes you money. It's like, yes, but like, okay, well, why does it do that? Like, what is it about it other than some obvious, like the obvious things that we've been talking about?
I think
There's
I
more.
did that a little bit in the newsletter last week, like,
Yeah, for sure.
it makes people feel, like, and when people feel, they wanna do something with those feelings.
Yeah. One of the things we got to figure out is how do you use market like the MP3 framework to also create more scarcity and or urgency. I think this is a theme that
That's the
really I've been stuck on this
Yeah.
for weeks now. How do you introduce that with in this there's a place for it here. Um I think the whole urgency piece is in the ramp and this is something I used to teach a lot of, which I don't do nearly as much, but I should
Mhm.
probably bring it back because I'm starting to connect a few dots here, which is the concept of ramifications of the problem going unsolved.
Yeah.
Right? I always talk about reasons why the problem exists.
Yep.
That's how you get someone to opt in. Yes, that's my life. That's exactly what I'm experiencing. But then there's on the other side of it goes, well, if the problem goes unsolved, like why should I bother solving this thing?
Yeah, it's the cost
A
of
lot of
inaction.
problems have 0 ramification if you don't solve them, or very low ramifications of going completely unsolved. But we all live with them, with stupid problems in our life because it's like, it's not that painful. So how do you ramp urgency by twisting the knife on ramifications, really? If you don't do this thing,
Mhm.
here's what could happen. Here's what would happen, right? Like that kind of thing. And not necessarily like sensationalizing, like your business will collapse. Like, and it's like what it's hard and it's hard to do ones that are not sensational, that are just demonstrably true.
It's like it's the one-liners that make you feel something, like the cost of staying stuck or whatever the hell I said a couple weeks ago that people were like, "Oh my god, that line." I don't
I
even
don't
know.
remember
It
people
was
said
like
this.
yeah, it was when I said the cost of staying
Oh yeah,
stuck,
yeah. I
like,
remember this on a
something
post.
about that. Like, I don't know.
This is signal. We gotta pull that out and put that in some webpage copy.
I know, I have a secret. Claude wrote the line. It wasn't me.
Sometimes we all have a little thought partner
I
named
fucking
Claude.
love Claude. I love Claude. I edit the
Claude
shit
has
out of it,
changed
but,
Claude has
like,
changed my life.
it just makes the process faster. I can write anything I want on my own. I don't want to spend that much time doing it anymore unless I'm thinking through something brand new. Like, I'm not using Claude to write the MP3 stuff because I wanna think really hard about it, but once I've done all this really hard thinking, like, yeah, Claude can come in and help me out a bit. Anyway,
I'm telling you, Claude has changed my life, especially the most expensive investment is the one you make in staying stuck.
yeah,
That's
that
the
that should
line.
probably go on the website.
I was top comment on your post. because I just literally quoted that line and I just said no notes.
Thanks, Claude.
Uh, that's how you get top comment, people, just like that. Um, well, also, like, when you think about, like, scaling your ability to like, this program has been an insane amount of lift. Like, we haven't talked about this yet, but, like, we're about to change over the checkout experience from school
We're
to
not leaving
Samcart.
school. It's just
We're
the
not leaving school,
checkout
just the checkout
experience. Yeah.
to Samcart,
Yeah.
and it is, like, a colossal lift. Like, I was like, "Oh, I'll just switch this link to that link and we'll be done." No, it is a colossal lift of landing page copy, email copy, like, automations, all the bullshit in the world, all the things that you are thinking of and all the things you aren't thinking of.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, every time I think we're about to launch, I find 10 more things I need to do, and it is an insane amount of work. But here's the point. Claude has helped take all of the stuff I've already written and reapply, like, and retreat it to
Yeah.
fit in these spaces. So it's like, instead of it taking me weeks, it's taking me a couple of days.
It's so useful. I used Claude this morning to redo my workbook because it's stressing me out. My one-to-one workbook.
Yeah, how did Claude do it?
Well, I've been like, I need a system for people to collect their insights. And like, it's fine the way I was doing it if you've got like 10 insights. What happens if when you collect like 50, 100, like you can't scroll endlessly. So like I needed it to become a table and
Mm,
I just needed like it to make sense. It's the best way I can describe it. So I was like pasted all the questions I was asking people and I was like, if I were to organize this into a table, like what would the columns be? Like all that shit. And it just did it for me. And I was like, there you go.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's unlimited use cases for it, but it's made just something like this shift fucking so much easier.
Yeah.
I've been banging my head against the wall with all the stuff that needs to be done, and I'm like, if it would take me weeks
Yeah.
to re-swizzle this checkout. So
Yeah.
thank you, good Claude. All right.
All right.
We-
Covered a
Now,
lot in this one. I feel like we
yeah, I just
we got a lot going on, so it all kind of came out.
happy Friday.
Happy Friday.